This way, temperatures will tumble below zero overnight. We'll look at how low in the AccuWeather alert forecast.
And there are ways to prepare your home to avoid problems once the bitter cold does arrive. We will show you a few easy steps.
And while some pets seem to enjoy the winter weather, you gotta be careful how to protect them and recognize early signs of potential health issue. Dog owners in this group.
Yeah,
looking forward to some
be a good
details.
segment.
Yeah. First, some schools, including CPS, have already canceled classes tomorrow because of the cold.
Yeah, others will use remote learning, of course. So let's get right to meteorologist Heisel Martinez with the ABC7 AccuWeather alert forecast. Heisel, it's gonna be really like a deep freeze out there.
Yeah, school cancellations due to this Arctic blast, bringing in some very cold temperatures tomorrow, especially throughout the morning hours. But the thing is, it's all day long that we are dealing with some dangerously cold wind chills. So our temperature tomorrow morning likely 7 below with a high temperature close to 0. That wind chill value close to 32 below in the morning, close to 20 below throughout the day. That's about the best we do. Then the cold does continue into this weekend. Saturday morning, we're looking at, again, a temperature 7 below, a wind chill value at about 20 below. Things improve at least a little bit in the afternoon with our wind chill values anywhere from 5 below to 5 above Saturday afternoon. Right now, temperatures are starting to fall. We're at 12 degrees in Harvard. O'Hare's at 18, 19 at Midway. Zooming out a little bit more to show you that Madison is at 9 degrees, Minneapolis 9 below. Continuing to look north, that Arctic air arriving quickly tonight, and we are talking our air temperatures dropping 5 to 15 below. We will talk more about this and the chance for snow Saturday night. More on that in just a little bit.
All right, Heisel, thank you. Now, preparing your home can now be really easy, and it can help you avoid a mess tomorrow. ABC7's Mayor Kawash went out with some experts and has a few simple tips for you.
I always run it both. For some reason, the hot always freezes. I don't know why, but I just run both hot and cold.
Rescue Plumbing has been busy today responding to service calls around the Chicagoland area, urging residents to take precautions to make sure their pipes don't burst.
The best way to prevent this is open up your kitchen cabinet, point a heater at it. Any space that you guys think that is getting a cold air, heat it. And that's You'll never freeze. Running water, heat your space.
Van says Chicago also has many older buildings across the city, so that preparation becomes even more important.
This area, Lincoln Park, which I've been working most of my life, has the oldest buildings. Whenever I hear the street Pine Grove, I get scared, to be honest with you, because Pine Grove to me is a 120-year-old piping.
Similar preparation is critical when it comes to your furnace, making sure that heat keeps flowing in over the next couple days. While year-round maintenance is recommended, service technicians at Shavitz Heating and Cooling say you should double-check your air filter.
It's important for folks to definitely change filters. That can cause furnaces to overheat. That's really common. Gas pressures can fluctuate when everybody's using their heat in this kind of time.
And if you're deciding to get out of town and dodge these freezing temperatures, make sure to set the thermostat at a steady mark to avoid any problems while you're gone.
If you keep your heat down to, a reasonable temperature, let's say, 62, something like that, 60, 62 degrees, so that it's not freezing in the home, but you do have heat, that's more manageable. You're going to put less stress on the furnace.
Mayor Kawash, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
If you don't have the option of staying home tomorrow, you'll want to take extra steps to protect yourself from the dangerously cold temperatures. And doctors and expert commuters remind us to follow the golden rule of layering up.
Bundle up, always have like a hat, gloves, try to bring a lot of Kleenex with me because the nose is going.
What's really important is that they wear a number of layers, staying very warm but also staying dry, making sure that you're also not wearing anything very, very tight that restricts any blood flow.
If you feel any tingling, numbness, or pain in your extremities, doctors warn to get indoors immediately. And with the extreme cold coming, we're also looking at what's being done to help the unhoused and others in need during these dangerous temperatures. ABC7's Lisette Nunez spoke to the Office of Emergency Management and Communications about available services.
The city of Chicago is bracing for a deep freeze with temperatures expected to plunge into the negatives. The city says they will be keeping a close eye on some of the most vulnerable groups.
We certainly see a surge in well-being checks through both 911 and 311.
The city's Office of Emergency Management and Communications is preparing for a bitter blast and closely monitoring the forecast. They are urging people to limit their time outdoors.
It only takes upwards of 10 to 15 minutes to start exhibiting symptoms of frostbite for exposed skin.
The cold blast comes as approximately 550 city staff, volunteers, and street outreach teams will be doing their annual point-in-time count. It's meant to get a tally and collect data on unhoused individuals living in shelters or city streets.
We're going on the bridges, we're going into parks, into encampments, and to talk to individuals.
Commissioner Angela Green says those who are unhoused are connected with resources on the spot and offered a place to stay.
Not only do we give them a little bit of food and some things to stay warm, but we also offer them shelter immediately if they would like to go into shelter. Depending on their choice, we don't do anything involuntarily, but we do have our shelter open to them for them to get into a warm space and then work towards their housing.
The city and suburbs are also opening up a number of warming centers due to the cold. For a full list of them, just head over to our website. That's ABC7Chicago.com. Lisette Nunez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Lisette, thanks. A reminder, you can find school closing information on our website too. And before you head out the door in the morning, make sure you check in with us. We're getting started at 4 tomorrow to bring you updates on the temperatures, traffic conditions, and any school delays or closures.
Now to the family of a 12-year-old girl filing a federal lawsuit after the child was patted down by a Joliet police officer during a routine traffic stop. The incident recorded on the officer's body camera. We have blurred the 12-year-old's face to protect her identity since she is a minor, and we note Joliet police blurring the face of her older sister in the video you are about to see. Sarah Schulte tonight reporting on the lawsuit.
The family of a 12-year-old girl who was stopped and patted down by a Joliet police officer is filing a federal lawsuit today after they say the Joliet Police Department refused to meet with them about the incident. Two sisters on their way to their grandmother's house are pulled over by the Joliet police for suspicion of a suspended registration for an insurance violation.
There was no 911 call, which should, have made them suspicious. No bank robbery, no driving down the street at 80 or 90 miles an hour, nothing. Just a routine traffic stop.
Police body cam video shows the younger sister sitting in the front passenger seat was asked to exit the car during the routine traffic stop. The 12-year-old was told to turn around. The officer patted her down with both hands touching between her legs, upper thighs, and other areas. Her older sister is heard asking the officer why he frisked a 12-year-old. Their mother rushed to the scene after receiving a phone call from her daughters.
I ran to the scene in a panic, trying to make sure that everything was okay.
Nyaka Jones' daughters were never charged with anything. Jones immediately filed a complaint with the Joliet Police Department. Following the February 18, 2024 traffic stop, video shows the officer's sergeant in disbelief over the pat-down.
You seriously patted down that little girl?
The sergeant tells the officer he doesn't know how to smooth this one over. The officer, who had only been on the streets just a few months, tries to explain his intention wasn't to be perverted.
Yeah, it's a mistake, I think.
Despite admitting wrongdoing, Jones claims the police department was not interested in meeting about her concerns. As a result, Jones is filing a federal lawsuit.
When the sergeant says, hey, the officer did wrong, we naturally expected that they would sit down with us and speak to us.
Because of pending litigation, the Joliet Police Department cannot comment. Meantime, Nyaka Jones says her daughter has suffered from separation anxiety since the incident.
She don't want me to go anywhere. She can't stay focused. I have to keep her busy.
As for any discipline against the police officer, all he received was a notice of counseling from his sergeant. It also states any further violations would result in discipline. Sarah Schulte, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Sarah, thank you. The man appointed to investigate President Trump testifies before Congress, saying he believes the president broke the law.
Chicago's newest food pantry opening in a very unique location.
Oh, somebody take me in your eyes.
And Sinners Making Oscars history. We'll look at the nominations ahead.
Dancing with the devil.
A former special counsel Jack Smith defending himself and his work during a congressional hearing today. Smith investigated President Trump's involvement in efforts to turn over the 2020 election, and he also looked into classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. As ABC's Karen Travers reports, Smith says he believes the president broke the law.
Today, former special counsel Jack Smith in his first public testimony telling Congress that President Trump broke the law.
President Trump was charged because the evidence established that he willfully broke the law, the very laws he took an oath to uphold.
Smith was appointed in 2022 to lead investigations into the president's alleged interference in the 2020 election and alleged mishandling of classified documents. He brought charges against Trump in 2023.
If asked whether to prosecute a former president based on the same facts today, I would do so regardless of whether that president was a Democrat or a Republican.
The Republican-led House Judiciary Committee is investigating Smith and members of his team over the Trump indictments. Republicans say Smith's probe was politically motivated.
Democrats have been going after President Trump for 10 years, for a decade, and the country should never, ever forget what they did.
Democrats on the committee defended Smith.
You pursued the facts, you followed the law, you stuck with extreme caution to every rule of professional responsibility. You had the audacity to do your job.
President Trump pleaded not guilty to all charges in both cases. Both were dropped after his re-election due to the long-standing policy of the Justice Department barring prosecution of a sitting president. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Karen, thank you. No details tonight after all 27 European Union leaders held a crisis meeting to discuss the future of the transatlantic relationship with the United States. President Trump has left Switzerland after backing off his threats to take Greenland and scrapping the tariffs on European allies who opposed his plans. The president met with NATO's Secretary General and discussed what he calls the framework of a deal, the White House not providing any further details.
It's a long-term deal. It's the ultimate long-term deal. And I think it puts everybody in a really good position, especially as it pertains to security and minerals and everything.
We came to this understanding that collectively as NATO we have to step up here, including the US. Now, of course, our military will start the planning, but that is something which we are good at.
An existing treaty already allows the United States to expand its military presence on the island. And Vice President J.D. Vance in Minneapolis today to show support for the immigration enforcement effort. He did acknowledge that mistakes have been made there. However, he also urged state and local law enforcement to collaborate with federal officials and said that protesters must stop getting in their way. The vice president went on to defend the detaining of a 5-year-old boy after his father was arrested.
Our coverage of the dangerous cold continues. We'll have some tips from a top veterinarian to keep your pets safe.
And how long will this deep freeze stick around? We'll have the answer in your AccuWeather forecast. That's coming up next on the other side of the break. Hello, hello. Are you there, Dr. Bailey?
I am here. Hello. This must
Dr.
be Cheryl.
Bailey. Yeah.
The world famous Cheryl. It's Cheryl and Rob. We're testing your mic. Sounds good, right?
Yeah, you sound good.
Great.
Okay.
I'm here.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Hey, we look forward to it. We'll be joining you in just a minute here.
Yes. We have been talking, of course, about the danger to people in this cold weather as it's moving in overnight. And you can also have some serious problems for your pets.
Yes, you can. So Dr. Michael Bailey, president of the Schaumburg-based American Veterinary Medical Association, is joining us live tonight. Dr. Bailey, it is terrific to see you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me, and let's talk about the weather.
Let's do it. Yes, unfortunately, we've been talking a lot about it, but we have a lot of pet owners in this group. I own a black lab. Heisel, our meteorologist, owns a black lab.
Floor director
has two smaller pets. And
and our producer has
right.
Well, I mean, everybody. And I'm auntie.
Yeah, you're the aunt, and Cheryl's the aunt of all of them. How cold is too cold for pets to be outside?
Well, this makes it real easy. If it's too cold for you, it's too cold for your pet. We have pets that have different hair coats and whatnot, but each pet is an individual and has different tolerances.
So let's talk about specific breeds. Are some breeds more at risk than other breeds?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Short-haired breeds are extreme risk during this time of year, but even the long-haired breeds are. So if you have a short-haired breed or one who may not have much hair at all for whatever reason, you want to be sure that you have clothing so that they can be protected from this extremely cold weather. And I suggest having more than one so that if it gets wet on one walk, you can put on something dry for the next walk.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, doctor. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. Even the long-haired dogs, however, you have to be careful. Do not let them be outside too long. The best thing is go out with them. If it's getting too cold for you, it's too cold for them.
And we've limited our walks with Snoop. He loves to be outside. He loves the cold. He never seems cold, but sometimes his paws, he'll pick them up, doctor, and we know that's when he might be a little bit cold. And we put these silly boots on him, then he runs around like a wild man. It's pretty
and they're very fashionable.
Yeah, they are fashionable. But you mentioned something. I wanted to ask you this. Do those coats for these dogs, do they really work? Because some of them, they got to go potty on the bottom. So you put the coat on the top, their bottom's exposed. Do those coats work for dogs?
Yes, because it does help keep the heat in. So yes, they can be very helpful. But once again, you go out, you do whatever is necessary, and you come back in again. And I like what you said about the paws, because they're walking on the cold concrete. They can get frostbite. If their feet get very wet, you want to come in, when you do come in, wipe them down, especially if there's salt on the ground. And of course, if you have a really short dog, you want to wipe off their bottom too, because their bellies will get wet.
So much to think about. Talk about what to look for. The cold ears, the shivering, the lethargic dogs. What are some specific signs that we should be concerned about?
Well, first thing, remember, a dog that may have been cold tolerant last year, if they're getting older, this year they may be less cold tolerant. So know what your pet's health conditions are and be prepared for that. You're right. If they're shivering, if their ears are cold, and I want to talk about cats too, because a lot of cats love darting outside. Be sure to let them back in. Be aware, because they can get frostbite. Dogs and cats can get frostbite on their ears, on their nose, and their feet. And of course, from the cold, they can get cracks on their feet, which makes it difficult for them to walk.
Does the Vaseline on the paw pads, does that work? Does that help them from cracking their paws in this cold weather?
It does help, and there's actually paw wax which you can get. There's a thing called musher's wax which you can get, which you can put on their pads also. And I'm not against the boots as long as they're used to them. So if you're going to use them, get them conditioned to them before the cold weather sets in.
Yeah,
what is it? Wax? What is that?
Yeah, that's great. I've not heard of that
What's
stuff.
the name of it,
Mushers,
Dr. Bailey?
Mushers wax. Yep.
Mushers. Our director said she uses that for her corgis. So I guess, Rob, you got to get hooked
This
up.
is a Christmas list item for
Oh,
me.
because I did.
You.
See,
Yeah,
and I did get Snoop, his dog, some really nice Christmas gifts.
So there you could do that as
You
well.
should have put that all in their stockings.
I didn't know. Auntie didn't know, Dr. Bailey, but now I'm learning.
With that wind tomorrow, because we're looking at wind chills in the 30s, that wind can also affect them, right? In addition to touching the cold surfaces, I've got to think that wind is bad for their ears and their bodies too.
Once again, if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for them. But I'm going to mention something else. Folks will go in and say, I've got to run into the store, and they're going to leave them in the car. Maybe the car's running. Remember, cars have timers on them. They will shut themselves off after a period of time. If you're in that store too long, they can get cold very fast, and of course, they can't move around to keep themselves warm. So do not leave your dogs in a cold car or a hot car. So what you do in the summer, do the same thing in the winter. Do not leave them in a car by themselves.
Sounds like a really good plan. Now I have to ask you about fresh water. When we come back inside, we might have some hot tea, hot cocoa. Should you warm up the water for your dogs when they come back inside from a walk? No.
Have it room temperature. Just let it sit out there. You don't want to have anything that's excessively warm because you're not sure what the temperature is that they're going to be acclimated to. But if you have room temperature water, but most important thing, have those dry towels nearby so you can wipe off their feet, their belly, wipe their face, and check in between their paws and between their pads because they can have ice packed in there and clean that out for them.
That's a great tip. Dr. Bailey, do you have any pets?
At this time, unfortunately, our last pet passed away last year, so we're going to be getting one come spring.
Yeah, I remember that time. You wait for a little while till it feels right. But I was just asking because if you do, that pet's got to be the luckiest animal in the world, man. Having you.
Dogs we get love the winter just like we're talking about, but we had our last one passed away at 17, and as she got older and older, she loved it, but we acclimated her and brought her back in quickly so she didn't get too cold.
And we're going to keep your tips in mind in her honor. Dr. Michael Bailey.
When you bring me a new baby in.
Right, yeah, you're welcome on this show anytime.
Yeah, we love to talk to you. Stay warm, Dr. Bailey. You are amazing. We enjoyed this segment. We learned a lot.
Thank you very much. And everybody, remember, avma.org if you have more questions.
Perfect. We'll put it on our website, too. So thanks a lot, Doc. All right, now we got to talk about the weather forecast. I got some good tips. I'm going to get that stuff for Snoop's paws.
Right.
And you just got to take, we're outside.
Heisel was doing some kind of movement. What did you try?
To flip the camera.
Oh, okay. I thought it was some movement she uses with her dog.
So your dog, you came from, well, I guess you were in Boston before this, so your pooch was used to this for the most part, right?
But I still just learned some stuff.
Yeah.
I learned some stuff, but mainly because my pup is now about to turn 11. And so I do see him shivering a little bit more than before because he's a big lab German Shepherd, and before it didn't even bother him.
I would have never thought that age can impair their ability to resist the cold. Now we know.
I know, that's why we have to have Dr.
And I do
Bailey
have that
on.
wax, Rob. It works really well.
I'm ordering.
My suggestion is to do it like early in the morning when they're still very sleepy because they want to get up and they want to lick it off their paws.
Right.
Does it taste good?
Probably not. But they want, dogs, they always want to clean themselves. So they're like, what did you put on my paws?
Right.
Let me clean. So you have to kind of distract them, or when they're very, very sleepy is the best time to put the wax on the paws.
Auntie Cheryl, write this down.
All right, Dr. Heisel in the house.
Yeah, writing it all down. Learned the hard way. 0 degrees is the expected high for tomorrow. So at this point, we're talking dangerously cold wind chills tomorrow morning, 40 below. That Arctic air arriving in just a few hours. Slowly, our temperatures are dropping right now, but then that temperature drop will be very fast in the next few hours. Once it gets here, you will definitely feel the difference in the air. And the thing is that on Saturday morning, we are still bitterly cold, and then we're keeping the AccuWeather alert Saturday into Sunday because we are looking at a storm to come very close to our area. We are looking at the chance for accumulating snow Saturday night into Sunday. Temperatures right now, this is what I was talking about. It is now at 10 in Lake Geneva, 16 at O'Hare, 19 at Midway. Our temperatures quickly dropping in the next couple of hours. Wind gusts anywhere from 20 to 25, now up to 30 in Aurora. So to our north and west, you see those bright colors there. Our wind also picking up as that Arctic air moves in. Already talking a wind chill at 1 below in Aurora, 2 at O'Hare, 6 at Midway. So it just kind of shows you just how cold it's going to get when it's already where it's at right now. So take a look at our temperatures. This is what I mean. By about midnight, we're already at 5-6 degrees and then falling below 0 for our air temperatures by 8 in the morning, 10 below in some locations. So we do have this extreme cold warning in effect in this blue color. That's from 3 a.m. tonight through 12 p.m. tomorrow. Then after that expires at noon, this goes into effect, a cold weather advisory in effect from Friday afternoon all the way through Saturday morning. And the reason why we talk about dangerously cold is because at this point, this is pretty low. 30 to 40 below wind chills here. That means frostbite can happen in 5 to 15 minutes for exposed skin. So this is why a lot of schools have closed or are doing remote learning because of this. 5 to 15 minutes, that's how long you wait at the bus stop. So this is why it is dangerously cold. Here is a look at our wind chill forecast. 30 to 40 below tomorrow morning, continuing the clock to show you 4 p.m. By dinner time, there is very little improvement. It is still frigid out there and dangerously cold. Then as we head into Saturday morning, wind chill values unfortunately still between about 20 and 30 below, slowly improving things Saturday afternoon. As our temperatures improve, we're now talking the chance for snow. This big winter storm system, I'm sure you've heard of it, affecting the south all the way through the mid-Atlantic and up through the northeast. Well, guess what? Now we're getting in on it as well. The very northern edge of this could get into our area. Here's a look to show you as we head into Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Here's the thing. It's too early to tell you how much snow we're going to get because it's going to be a very sharp cutoff. Notice almost zero snow for Wisconsin and maybe even our northern counties, and then snow more likely for areas south. So we'll have to watch as that system, 50 miles will make a big difference in the track of that system, but accumulating snow is possible, something that you should keep up to date, especially if for some reason you have to be out and about Saturday night into Sunday. Monday, it is still very cold, but not as cold, at least there's that. Temperatures will be into the teens, and we stay in the teens next week. It's just a stretch here of frigid temperatures. So mentally prepare.
Yes, that part.
And then, yeah, the dangerously cold part here.
We can do it. We can do it.
We got this.
So we got this. And our Fur Babies, a food pantry based inside a library, now open for Chicago's West Side. Mayor Johnson and officials from the Chicago Public Library and the Greater Chicago Food Depository officially opening the pantry today. You will find at Legler Regional Library on Pulaski in the West Garfield Park neighborhood. Nice. It is nomination day for the 98th Annual Academy Awards.
As ABC's Jacqueline Lee reports, one film making history is the most nominated ever.
Wow.
Sinners, the 1930s set vampire horror film, bringing in 16 nominations for the 98th Academy Awards, the most ever in Oscars history.
Somebody take me.
Writer and director Ryan Coogler nominated for Best Director and Best Screenplay, with Michael B. Jordan securing his first Oscar nomination for Best Actor.
Just a dominant performance. Ryan Coogler himself is a triple nominee as a writer, a director, and a producer. And what a vindication for every risk he took to make this movie and triumphed on every level.
Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another has the second most nominations at 13. And it certainly will be a battle for Best Actor with a crowded field. Michael B. Jordan joined by Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ethan Hawke, and Wagner Moura. For Best Actress, Jessie Buckley in Hamnet, Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and Renata Reinzova in Sentimental Value. They secured their first nominations in the category. Emma Stone for Begonia and Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue, also nominated. K-pop Demon Hunters securing 2 nominations for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song. The directors Maggie Kang and Chris Applehan speaking to ABC News right after the announcement.
I watched the Oscars growing up with my dad, who is a total cinephile, so to be nominated and to be able to go to the awards is a dream come true.
10 films nominated for Best Picture: Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
A new category was added this year. For the first time, an Oscar will be handed out for Best Casting. Conan O'Brien returning as this year's host. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Jacqueline, thank you. Richard Roper and Jose Sanders did a great segment too on the 4. That's on our website. You'll want to watch.
Good.
They talk a lot about it. They're fun to listen to.
Yeah.
The 98th Academy Awards air Sunday, March 15th at 6 p.m. on ABC and Hulu too.
All right, Sinners is going to take home a lot. It is Ryan Coogler's time. I mean,
it's crazy. I mean, I think Michael B. Jordan probably has to win.
And they go all the way back to Fruitvale Station when
he didn't win the Golden Globes, and I was surprised.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
We'll see.
I love it.
I love award season.
I know, it's like,
I started watching some of the movies because a lot of them I haven't watched.
That's what we were talking about earlier. There's a lot that I haven't seen.
We need to start watching and talking.
This weekend would be the time to do it. Stay inside.
Yeah.
See you at 10 on ABC.